2023年8月23日、対シンシナティレッズ戦、大谷翔平選手は右肘の怪我により2回で降板しました。今回の動画は、大の大谷ファンとして知られるフリッピンバットのメイン司会者ベンバーランダー氏が、エンゼルスの大谷選手に対するケア不足に激怒し、右肘損傷の原因を作ったと球団を非難しているポッドキャストを翻訳したものです。
I am joined, as always, by Alex Curry.
It's hard to try to smile today. I mean, this is literally the most devastating news about Shohei Ohtani, worst case scenario happening last night when we saw him exit the game in the second inning.
Yeah, look, I am heartbroken for Shohei. I am mad. For the second time in his career, Shohei Ohtani has torn his UCL, and he will no longer pitch this season and is getting a second opinion to see if a second Tommy John is the route to go. But this is a sad day for baseball. And I might say some strong, passionate things throughout this, but this is my real and raw reaction to this. This is an organization in the Angels that took advantage of Shohei as long as they possibly could. They milked him for all that he is worth. And for months now, he's been coming out of games due to fatigue, due to cramping, due to this, due to that. And we're just told by the organization, it's fatigue, it's fatigue, it's fatigue. No, his body was falling apart right in front of us. We could all see it. But even if it is fatigue, why the hell are you throwing him out there every 5 to 6 days? Give the guy his time to recover and recuperate. He gave every single ounce of what his body was capable of giving to this Angels organization. And somebody needed to step in and protect him from him. You know, the greatest athletes in the world, the greatest athletes of all time aren't gonna say, hey, I need to step back here. I need some time. They're not going to do it. That's just not how they work. That's not how their brain works. I've been watching Quarterback, the Netflix documentary lately with Patrick Mahomes involved in it. And the episode, and one of the episodes is when he gets injured in the playoffs. And he goes up to Andy Reid and says, I'm fine, I'm fine. And Andy Reid said, you are not going back in this game. You are going to get an x-ray. And until I hear some better news, you are done here. You are not going back in the game. You have to protect the greatest athletes from themselves, because sometimes it's not easy to look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm going to take a step back here. I'm going to be fine. I'm going back in there. They don't hold back. You can't treat a two-way player like Shohei Ohtani like he's normal. You just can't. You can't ignore the multiple signs that we were given. The cramping, the blisters, the fatigue. That was his body saying something is off. Something is off here. I'm not okay. Pump the brakes, take a pause, and remove him for a little while. Don't just throw him back out there every 5 or 6 days because he says I'm good to go. No, he said specifically, I am tired. My body is tired, but I can't afford to take a day off right now. But the Angels were just okay with that. The Angels had an obligation to keep Shohei Ohtani's future in mind. But they didn't. And I believe the Angels failed Shohei Ohtani. I think they failed the fans. And I think they failed Major League Baseball. Because they did. They had this obligation with this player, and they had the chance to say, your future is more important than us climbing from 8 games out of a wild card spot to get in it. But it wasn't. His future wasn't more important to the Angels, because I don't think they cared any longer. And that might be harsh to say, and that might be wrong, but prove to me otherwise. They didn't care about his future anymore because he had a couple months left on his contract there. What? Okay, he's gone. We're gonna ride him as far as we possibly can. Though his body is tearing apart right in front of us, we're going to continue riding him. And they had an obligation to care about his future and to care about the game of baseball. And they failed us all. Yeah, they failed Shohei. This sucks for Shohei.
ベン氏に同意しますか？エンジェルの責任だと思いますか？チームは大谷選手の言うことを聞きすぎたのでしょうか？皆さんはどうお考えですか？ご視聴ありがとうございました。いいね、コメント、シェア、チャンネル登録をお願いします。それではまた。